What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? I mean, Robby, are we doing a podcast every other month? Is that what we're doing? Look, the key to success is consistency. So I might not be successful. No, shit's been busy, which is good. I was planning on doing this. I, for some reason, have this idea that I can't do a podcast without being absolutely narked out of my mind on caffeine. And then today I realized, no, I can be drunk on a Tuesday night. But as long as it isn't me, as long as you don't get to see the real me, I can do this. I posted some stuff last time. And for episode 1, and all of 20 people saw it. By the way, the goal of this is to be more than just me talking into a camera and a red light or whatever. But, like I said, I had this idea of like Atomic Habits. If you don't know what Atomic Habits is, you're fucked, dude. You're fucked. Atomic Habits is this really, really great book about how to not be a shithead, how to be better and whatnot. And a big part of the Atomic Habits idea is that you just do something, which like just not nothing. So if you want to go for a jog, you tell yourself you're going to jog for 5 minutes. And then obviously by the time you've jogged for 5 minutes, you're in the mode so you can do more. So I think that's what I thought. I thought that if I just got one done, that I would be on a rock and roll and I'd be ready to kick some ass, but I wasn't. I was not ready to do that really at all. But I'm here now and I'm doing it, and we're making this happen. The goal, though, is I think the next one I'm going to have a guest of some kind. And yeah, I posted some stuff on the interwebs, and people were like, "Does everybody have a podcast?" Yes. 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 Everyone has a podcast. Everyone has a fucking TikTok. Everyone has a side hustle. Everyone has some bullshit to try and escape, because what else are we going to do? Listen, I think if you are surprised still at the idea of a person having a podcast, then you're a little bit surprised too much. There's a point where you shouldn't be surprised so much. When you see a bald man with big muscles and raging narcissistic personality disorder, and you were surprised that he has a podcast. When you see a bald man who thinks that he is funny, and you are surprised that he has a podcast. When you see a bald man with no girlfriend and small dick energy, or just a small dick, one or the other, and you are surprised that he has a podcast, you are surprised too much. You spend too much of your life being surprised, which makes you stupid. If that doesn't, I think I was trying to allude to the idea that you're stupid if that surprises you, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it because you might not get it. You're fucking stupid if you don't understand that everyone has a goddamn podcast. Every fucking slut on the internet has a podcast. Everybody who doesn't get with the sluts has a podcast. Okay? There's a lot of goddamn podcasts out there. Just relax, people. Relax. You don't need to comment about the fact that there are a lot of podcasts. A lot of people have made that comment already. A lot of people. You know what? I didn't comment that on those people who commented that, and I should comment that. Next time people come and, does everybody have a podcast now? I'm going to be like, does everybody comment on the fact that everybody has a podcast? Kanye West. That's the other thing, is I'm going to try to be topical. Everybody's dunking on Kanye West right now because he's saying all this fucked up shit about Jews, and then he was just on Alex Jones. I don't like that everybody's dunking on Kanye West. And you might think, oh, dude, it's because you're 30 and blah, and then you graduation and whatever, and he made you wear skinny jeans and you bought whatever. Okay. No, it's mental health. I have a personal thing about mental health. Okay, and when I say personal thing, I mean like I might be crazy, right? I might be crazy, and I don't like seeing another crazy person getting dunked on. If there's one group of people you don't need to dunk on, it's crazy people. There's all kinds of celebrities that you can dunk on, especially right now. You can dunk on Elon Musk all day long. I love Elon Musk. I don't give a fuck. I still love Elon Musk. It's perfectly okay to dunk on him because there's really nothing like wrong with him right now. You can dunk on him all day long, right? Because he's being stupid. He's being silly right now, or at least it appears to be that he's being stupid and silly. Feel free to dunk on the richest man in the world. Fine. There's all kinds of celebrities that dunk on. Dunk on Ben Affleck or whatever. I said his name weird, even though there's all kinds of people you can dunk on. Why do you have to dunk on a guy that's having a mental breakdown? Right? He was just on Alex Jones, and somehow he made Alex Jones uncomfortable because of how fucking crazy he was. He basically made Alex Jones look like a reasonable person. He was acting so fucking bananas. But obviously the biggest thing was that he couldn't stop talking about how much he loved Hitler. And people are mad about him. People are mad at him about this. People are mad that he said the Jews run the world. People are mad that he said, I don't know, man. He said a lot of things. He's crazy. Right? He said Adolf Hitler invented the microphone. The thing I'm holding in my hand right here. Okay? What does Kanye have to say before people go, oh, I get it. He has a disease. It's not him. This isn't him. It's the disease. It's the disease that's talking. Do you fucking get this? It's not him. This isn't Ye. This isn't Kanye. This isn't whoever. It's the man is struggling with an actual, like, recognized disease. Okay? Can you imagine you're having a mental health breakdown and all of a sudden everybody takes everything you say super literally, right? Like imagine you have schizophrenia and you're like, do you see that clown in the corner? And people are like, no, but I believe you. If you say that there's a clown in the corner filing taxes, not even like being a funny clown, just filing taxes and saying, I don't know what I'm doing over and over again, just saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. If you tell me that, if you say that there's a clown doing that in the corner, what reason do I have to not take you seriously? There is no amount of context that will not make me stop taking everything you say literally. I feel like that's my personal worst nightmare, and that's what everybody's doing to Kanye. And I think to all the people they think they're justified, there's a lot of Jews right now that feel fucking so justified right now. I don't fucking get this shit. I don't get it, dude. Everybody like posting all these memes or whatever. I'm like, dude, if he kills himself, how are you going to feel? Right? I think to me, that's really what it comes down to is, do I feel bad for Jews? Well, not modern day Jews, at least here in America. Do I feel bad for mentally ill people? Yes. So the trade-off, you know what I mean? This isn't really a competition for me. For me, this is pretty straightforward. For me, it's like, okay, Jews, and I'm not supposed to say it, but I'm sorry, I don't really feel bad for you, okay? Like the people that died in the Holocaust, do I feel bad for them? No, they're dead, okay? They're fucking dead. And if the Holocaust never happened, they would be dead already, right? Like, I don't feel bad for them. They're dead. They're gone. I'm not going to waste any more of my life feeling bad for them. The people that are alive and that are mentally ill right now, I'm going to feel bad for those people, okay? the people that are basically being profited off of and exploited because of their mental illness, aka Kanye, I'm going to feel bad for him, right? I feel bad for him. People want to say, like, your mental health, his mental health doesn't justify. It literally does, actually. It actually totally does. That is actually the thing that it would do. To people who say that, do you fucking understand how this shit works? Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Maybe I am. Do you not fucking get what the word crazy means? Do you not get this? Do you not get that crazy people do crazy shit? They don't mean any of it. They don't mean any of the shit they're saying or doing. It's not them. It's random neurons firing in their brain. And then when it's all over, like in his case, when his manic episode is over, he is going to feel like he is in hell. He is going to have the depression of all depressions. When all of his dopamine resources are completely depleted, he is going to be on a hell on wheels. Okay? Do you fucking get why I feel bad for him? Because it's just words. At the end of the day, he's not shooting Jews in the street. He's not doing that. He isn't wheeling Jews. He isn't somehow getting Jews into a train with pastrami, like, hey, come in here. I just smell the pastrami, and then wheeling them off and burning them. He isn't doing that. He's just saying a bunch of random shit with weird voices and a sock mask on. He's just using words. He's having a fucking manic episode. The fact that America, Kanye to me is a really a perfect catalyst for how pathetic America is when it comes to mental health. We fail on mental health on every goddamn level, from the roots to the very tippy top of the tree. We fail in every way. We fail culturally, we fail systemically, we fail on a government level. We fail in every possible way. Kanye is just the poster child of our failure. The fact that people are so pathetic in this country that they see a man with a very obvious mental breakdown and think, he's being an asshole. The fact that you think, the fact that you see a guy who is very clearly insane and you think you're the victim. You need to share your thoughts on Instagram or fucking whatever, that this is somehow about you, is a testament to our systemic failure, our cultural failure, our just complete and utter failure to understand mental health in this country. The only victim in this is Kanye. And it really is. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And if you really think that if you think you're the victim, once again, I just have to say, how are you going to feel if he kills himself? If he unalives himself? If Kanye unalives himself, are you really going to feel good about dunking on him? Well, it didn't take too long for me to get real fucking serious about that. But it is something that I do take seriously. I take mental health very seriously. And I think it's because I've had a lot of personal experience with it. The mental. I've had experience with the mental. On a personal level, I'm not really ready to get into all of that. But let me just say, I'm about a pubic hair away from Kanye at any given moment. Okay? So don't be surprised if you see me, I don't know, saying that birds aren't real and that, if you find me dead with a hamster in my ass, that's actually kind of cool, to be honest with you. That would be kind of like a cool way of dying. If you find me saying, I don't know, I feel like, to be honest with you, the one thing I will say about Kanye is it's a bit cliche. Can we just be, if there's one thing I think we can all agree on, whether you feel bad for him or not, the one thing we can all agree on is this shit's cliche as fuck, right? Like, come on, man. Adolf Hitler. Like, you could have said anybody. You could have said Genghis Khan. You could have said anybody, but God bless him. I love Kanye. God bless him. That stupid motherfucker probably doesn't know about anybody else. He doesn't know about anybody else. He doesn't know about Julius Caesar. He doesn't know about the Uyghurs in China. He doesn't know about the Armenian. He should know about the Armenian genocide because he fucking married an Armenian. But I'm going to go on a limb and say he might not actually have thought about the Armenian genocide in the long list of genocides that have happened. So yeah, I mean, it's a little cliche. If I have a mental breakdown, I'm trying to think. I like to think that my mental breakdown would be so much cooler than his. I mean, I think I would do some Red Bull challenge shit, like some Nitro Circus fucking bullshit. Like, I like to think that I would jump out of space. Because remember that guy did that? That guy jumped out of space, which is a sentence that is weird. But it did happen. A guy jumped out of space. You think you jump out of Earth into space, but apparently you can do both. You can jump out of space. There might be some people that are going to see this that are too young to know this. There was a guy that was literally called Fearless Felix. And the cocksucker jumped out of space. He jumped, like I think it was 90 kilometers. For people who don't know what kilometers is, I don't know what that is either. I don't know. I just know people said it was a lot. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things where he was in space. So there you go. He was in space. So the 90 kilometers almost doesn't even matter because the fucker was in space, right? And he jumped out of space and used a parachute to land on Earth. And it worked. And it was for Red Bull. And at the end of the day, we drank more Red Bull because of that. In some way, shape, or form, that had to do with Red Bull and us drinking more of it. And it probably worked. I drink way more Red Bull than I should. And I would imagine that a guy jumping out of space has a small part of that. I probably think that But that's what I would do if I had a mental breakdown. Or maybe I would do the opposite because I would be like, hey, a guy jumped out of space on Earth. I'm going to jump out of Earth into space. So then I would do something because, you know, like the manic episode makes you think you're like invincible or whatever. So I would probably do something along the lines of like shoot myself out of a cannon into space. Is that even physically possible? It doesn't matter. I'm having a manic episode in this theoretical situation. Reality isn't actually important anymore. What's important is that I have the will to do it. And that's, I think, what I would do. I'm sorry to the people watching on YouTube. I'm playing around with this little fucking setup. When I say to the people watching on YouTube, I mean all three of you. Hello, by the way. What else, folks? Yeah, I do feel bad for Kanye. And I don't care about documenting it. I'm fucking documenting that. I feel bad for Kanye. And I think that Charlemagne the God is right. Charlemagne the God has been going around talking about how he might kill himself and all this shit. How you might, you know, Kanye might unalive himself is what Charlemagne the God has been saying. And I really do think that that's a possibility. And I think all of you idiots are going to feel really bad if that's true. But enough of the sad shit, right? Wow, that's been 20 minutes. Enough of the 20 minutes of shame and whatnot. Let's talk about Elon Musk. I'm going to be real topical for a moment. And then I'm going to not come back for another 2 months. And that's what I think this podcast is going to be. It's going to be being topical once every 2 months. Elon Musk... Man, isn't this weird, man? As a guy who is a fanboy because I'm bald and have big muscles and I'm an intellectual, I tell people that. I use hashtag intellectual. As one of these bros, I do love Elon Musk. And I think I am actually legitimately justified. Okay, so people, like, there's this whole fucking video from that cringy guy, Adam, whatever, Conover, And he's talking about how like Elon Musk is an idiot. Okay, if you think Elon Musk is an idiot, you're an idiot. I mean, like in an actual real way. If you haven't heard the concept of theory of mind is basically that your ability to understand another person's information or intelligence that they hold in their head. It's one of the biggest differentiators between us and other species. It does not appear that other species have a whole understanding or a whole lot of understanding about the idea that another entity knows something that they don't. Theory of mind is a form of intelligence. You see a lot of people lack this. A lot of people, this just happened to me the other day. You know, I'm a photographer, videographer for hire. And I was at this show and I have my fucking equipment out. I've got all this fucking crazy equipment. And this guy sees me with my equipment and he's like, nice, man, nice equipment. And then he just starts like trying to teach me about like photography and videography. And there's just nothing that makes me immediately go, you're stupid. Like nothing makes me think you are stupid than just talking to someone and basically mansplaining. Like mansplaining. Basically mansplaining makes you look stupid. If you don't for a moment stop to consider, wait, maybe this person already knows everything that I'm about to tell them or more. Quick. So basically, yeah, I mean, people are dunking on Elon Musk, and I get it, because this Twitter shit is fucking weird. As a fanboy, you might be thinking, what's your excuse, right? How do you explain Elon Musk right now? And the answer is, I have no idea. Do I think everyone thinks that Twitter's going to go bankrupt, that this is going to be a massive failure? A lot of people were saying that it was going to be gone by the end of November. It ain't. We are in December. This is December 6th, and it ain't gone yet. So what's going to happen? And the answer is, I don't know. But I have a weird feeling he might be able to pull it off. Hear me out. The user base has grown by about 1 million. This is the part where I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't actually. But what I've heard is that the user base has grown by about 1 million. And it seems to me that the original concept of the blue check thing or whatever, I personally thought made a lot of sense. Everyone's acting like it was obviously stupid. I disagree. Because it is very clear. I mean, let's just be very clear about something. Twitter was always a dumpster fire. It was always a dumpster fire, right? Like Joe Rogan has that whole bit that it's all about beheadings and, you know, women getting ass fucked and all that. I mean, it is insane. Like you could literally just type in fucking any porn star or whatever, and you could just watch them getting picked up and railed in the ass, right? It was always a dumpster fire. And that was before January 6th. I think that's the craziest thing, is that all these liberals are acting like now all of a sudden, now that a quasi-Republican guy is in charge, now Twitter sucks. Do you not remember when these people orchestrated an insurrection on the Capitol? I don't know. Just a reminder that all these political parties are a complete sham, and you're a fucking zombie if you just go with the party line. Anyway, how's he going to pull this off? Well, the blue check thing, I actually did think made a whole lot of sense. The concept of paying to verify, I personally thought made a lot of sense. A lot of people, I don't know, maybe I'm just not in the mode, but I personally thought that made a whole lot of sense. The idea of you paying $8 a month or whatever to get verified, people acted like that was stupid. To me, I was like, well, first of all, if you're a millionaire, that's nothing. But then all these millionaires were like, I'm not paying a lousy $8. Bitch, you pay $8 to paint one nail. What the fuck are you talking about? You will definitely pay $8 for that shit. And then normal people were like, I'm not paying $8. I'm like, I know that. We all know that. We all know you're not going to pay $8. That is not the point. The point is that there are a fuck ton of bots. and we got to get rid of them. And this is a problem I have been thinking about a lot. The problem of spam and spam clogging our infrastructure. If you think about it, spam is destroying our telecommunications. Spam destroyed snail mail. When I check my mail, most of my mail is spam mail. Right? Like they're just killing trees for nothing to give me a JCPenney coupon that I'm never going to use. Right? That's what they're doing. They're killing trees and sending it to me because I live in an apartment. But apparently the last person walked into fucking Carrabba's or whatever one time. And so for the rest of all of eternity, my apartment has to get spam mail for fucking shrimp fettuccine for all of time. Because somehow you get the point, right? Mail doesn't work anymore. I don't want to check my mail anymore. When I see a bunch of shit in my mail, I think it's shit. It doesn't work anymore. It's clogged with spam. Email doesn't work anymore. It's clogged with spam. There's all kinds of bullshit in there. I miss emails all the time because I can't sort through all the fucking spam anymore. And a lot of the spam is clever, right? Because you sign up for Indeed.com work alerts one time or whatever, right? Because that's how they get you. They get you with just a shred of utilitarian value. They tell you, I'm a videographer. I work in the gig economy. I get work alerts for a new video gig, right? Be the first one to find out. Makes sense, right? You do want to be the first. You want to be the early bird that gets their dick in that shit, right? You want that, right? And what you don't realize is you've let the Sasquatch into your house. And if you don't know what that means, it's because I'm making it up as I go. In this analogy, the Sasquatch, if you let them in, they fuck you in the ass while you're sleeping. That's how this analogy works. Do you get what I'm saying here? Email doesn't work anymore, okay? Text messages don't work anymore. My phone is blown up. Literally right now, I've got like 30 text messages that I've never read because I know it says, are you planning on voting for the Democrat fucking butt plug? Okay, do you get are you planning on voting for this fucking shithead? All right, nonstop. And I miss text messages because of this. I don't respond to people sometimes because I have to weed through the fucking spam. Robocallers. I have a robo-killer app that kills robocalls, but it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it blocks people that genuinely need to call me. Our phones don't work anymore. Our communications do not work anymore because of spammers exploiting our infrastructure. There was a solution that was invented a long time ago, and it was called proof of work. You may have heard of this. It's what Bitcoin was invented off of. And it's believed that the guy a lot of people think that the person who invented this invented Bitcoin. Doesn't really matter, or is one of the three people. That's what I think. I think that I can't remember his first name, but his last name, Beck, the British guy, is one of the three people that invented Bitcoin. The proof of work idea was that in order to send an email, you would have to pay amount, or specifically your computer would have to work a certain amount to be able to send that email. To you, it's a bit of a pain in the dick. But if you're a spammer, it makes things logistically impossible. That is how you solve the spam problem. It didn't take off for some fucking reason. It took off, obviously, in Bitcoin, but I think it was originally proposed to Yahoo, and it didn't take off probably because people didn't want that minor inconvenience. But that minor inconvenience is what we actually need to solve the spam problem. Our infrastructure, our communication, our airwaves will always be clogged by spam if we are not willing to forego the inconvenience of doing some gatekeeping via proof of work, via payment, via something. We have to do something, or our communication infrastructure, our telecommunications, will perpetually be clogged. That is essentially the root of what Elon was proposing. What Elon was proposing was that instead of this open system where Russian bots can just make 300,000 accounts, you have to pay a small amount that is inconvenient for you. But it's impossible for someone trying to make 300,000 Russian bots. Or it's a massive pain in the ass. Whether you like it or not, this type of solution is going to start rearing its head more and more because it is the only solution. The unfortunate truth, basically, we are stuck in a death spiral. And it's because we can't afford subscriptions, but we need subscriptions. Let me explain. The news should be a subscription-based service almost exclusively. They should not be funded by advertisements. I think that kind of goes without saying, but I'm going to explain anyway. The advertisers are corrupting our news, right? If they want to say something bad about Volkswagen, they might not be able to do that because Volkswagen may be one of their biggest sponsors and they don't want to lose that revenue and then lay a bunch of people off. So how do you circumvent that? Well, you got to pay for it. You got to get people to subscribe. So how do we get people to subscribe? Well, they have to make more money. That's the hard pill that people don't understand. A lot of people want to get mad at the general public for not subscribing to the news and paying for the news and being ignorant and lazy. That's not what it is. We don't have the goddamn money. We don't have the money. We don't have the money for Netflix, but we do it anyway. You cannot expect us to have the money to subscribe to the New York Times, not that you should, and the Washington Post, not that you should, and whatever the fuck else comes out, not that you should. Imagine that. Imagine $10 a month for each subscription service. You don't have the money for that. That's the death spiral. The death spiral that America is in is that we do not have the money to subscribe. And because we don't have the money to subscribe, we are fed news that is destroying America and is making our lives more difficult by intentionally dividing political parties so that corporations can take advantage of the working class so that they can make even less money due to our ignorance. And therefore, we have even less of a possibility of subscribing. None of this is intentional, by the way. I think a lot of people hear this and they think that there's lizard skins or lizard people wearing human skins or whatever the fuck. Okay, none of that's what's happening. This is all accidental. This is all negligence. This is the result of hundreds of years of not really paying attention to what's happening. A house left unkempt will fall until decay, and that's exactly what's coming to America. Is this supposed to be funny or not? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. This is Thinking Too Hard with Robby the Lifeguard. That's what this is. This is me thinking too hard. This is basically me. I think that's what this is this is me. I'm occasionally funny, and I'm mostly intense. Goodbye. Have a great night.